a big shot unless we talking about hip-hop. Bad at TikTok, but I'll make movies like Hitchcock. Challenge Mitch, you'll barely make it like trick shots. Check your wristwatch, it's time for you all to quit. Stop trying me. I'ma be honest, I'm pretty glad no labels eyeing me. I'm independent and I don't want nobody buying me.
Yo, what up, everybody? This is Mitch Darrell, and today is kind of like a semi-holiday type of thing. For listeners of music, today is a day where they can see who they've listened to the most on the app known as Spotify, who they're the biggest fan of, what songs they've listened to a lot on repeat. But on the flip side of that, for the artists, it's Spotify Rap Day. It's a day where we can see how many people have streamed our music, if we've improved from the year before, just how we're doing overall when it comes to all the metrics, playlisting, streams, listenership, repeat plays, people who have us as their most listened to artist. So it's a very fun day. It's a day where we get a graphic that we can post on all our social media feeds. Honestly, it's really a day for Spotify to remind the world that they're still relevant. And they're like, hey, do some free marketing for us. Go ahead and post your thing showing all your numbers, and everybody will be like, oh yeah, Spotify. All the people that don't have Spotify will be kind of left out. And all the people that do are like, yo, check it out. We got Spotify. So it's a interesting day for artists because for the most part, I'd say it's like 50-50. For me, I love this day because I kind of overly obsess about my numbers, right? I keep up with them, not just yearly, but daily. I love keeping up with my metrics, seeing what my fans are doing, all that type of stuff. So I love the Spotify Rap Day. I'm always looking forward to it. I know it's always typically around the 1st of December. And so the main thing I do, I posted this today, is I take track. I've been a rapper for 5 years, or at least made enough music for 5 different Spotify raps to go by with me getting a graphic. So the very first one I got, I believe, was 2017. Let me make sure. 2018. So in that year, I got 1,000 streams and was played in 18 countries. So now if you compare that to this year's, I have 651.6 thousand streams and was played in 165 countries. So what's super dope for me is I get to think back about, okay, how did I feel in 2018? I was ecstatic about 1,000 streams. I was so happy. Like, I tell people this all the time. I was telling someone this today. Like, 1,000 streams was insane to me. Like, it was one of those things where it's like, yo, 1,000 people listened to me in a year. This is amazing. I was super proud to post this. And so now I always try to remember that feeling I had when now I look at my numbers today. These are the best numbers I've ever had. I'm very happy. But of course, what happens is you see other artists who are maybe in your peer group, in your same genre, and they're doing better than you. Maybe their numbers are higher than yours. There's an easy opportunity for some doubt, some jealousy, for the devil to creep in, for you to be sad and think, oh, well, I have good numbers, but they're not better than such and such's numbers. They're not better than these numbers. But all I have to do is go back and look at I have 5 different graphics. I can go back and look at my first one and say, yo, what would that kid from 2018 say if he saw your numbers today? What would he say? I'm going to read you exactly what I tweeted, and it's not even an exaggeration. This is exactly what would happen if 2018 Mitch saw my numbers for today. I wrote, the difference 5 years makes. I know we say this every year, but I think it's important to remember that you should only be measuring your numbers against yourself. If 2017 Mitch saw today's numbers, he'd spit out his coffee and cry tears of joy. So thankful, praise God. And that's not even an exaggeration. I have no doubt in my mind that I would be crying tears of joy because I'm almost doing that, and I'm here now. Like 2022 Mitch is like over 500,000 streams, 165 countries. I can't even name 165. I don't know if I can name 16 countries. So super proud of myself. And what should happen is I should only be measuring myself against myself, but that's not what happens. So I know plenty of artists personally this year and every year who hate Spotify Rap Day. I have a friend of mine, a peer of mine, who said that he's going to stay off of social media, specifically Instagram, for the next few days or so, because it's once one person posts theirs, every artist posts theirs. If you've paid any attention today on socials, your favorite artists or other artists that are friends of yours have posted their numbers. And if you feel like your numbers don't compare, you're not progressing as much as some others are, you might feel bad about it. And that's very understandable. And it's one of those things where numbers we easily forget that numbers equal people, right? So today I had an artist in a group chat I'm in say, it's just numbers. You don't want to let them blow your head up. And that is very true. But at the same time, it's not just numbers. The reason why we get excited about this is because that number is tied to a person. It's not a robot that listened. It's not an algorithm. An actual person counts. So I have 118,000 listeners for the year. I'm trying to imagine 118,000 people standing in an arena in front of me saying, we listen to your music, we like your music. That's crazy. That's so many people, right? Should I then see, but somebody else I know has twice that many listeners, so I need to do better? Or even, I have less listeners than I did last year or the year before. Even if you're only comparing to yourself, you still have to think to yourself. I was telling this to some of my friends in a group chat I'm in. We're rappers, man. Like, if you're relating to this video, you're a musician. You make music and make money off of it, or at least get money from it. Speaking of Spotify, they need to pay us more, but that's a different video for a different day. People listen to our music. People are fans of us. Whether it's 1 or 1 million, you are making music. God gave you a gift, the resources to be able to make and put out music, enough so to that there is record of people having listened to your music and you being paid from it. Like, I don't want it to sound cliche or kind of lame or whatever, but it's like, if you have to really focus on that fact and then look at your numbers and really equate those to human beings. Now, if you are not happy with where your numbers are at, another thing that this does for me every year, I think, is it kind of encourages me. Like, I have extreme doubts of me being able to beat 650,000 streams this coming up year. It's definitely possible. It motivates me to want to do that, but I'm stressed that maybe I won't outdo it. And let's say I don't outdo it, I still will have a solid number, and it's still people. Like, I'm not going to lose followers. So I'm still, even if this stays the same, I'll still be feeding music to people who want to hear it, if that makes sense. If you're not happy with your numbers, you can do something about it, right? You go back to the drawing board. All of this is it's feedback, really. This is how you did this year. It doesn't mean you're a bad artist. It doesn't mean you're not worth anything. It means, okay, what are you going to change next year? What are you going to do to try to get that number up if that number is what matters to you? What are you going to do to get your base up? Or if it doesn't matter to you that much and it doesn't need to, what are you going to do to keep the fan base you currently have happy, stay where you're at? You know what I'm saying? Like, all of this is up to you. It's all up to us, right? I know it can feel tough. I know it can feel like we're playing a game and you got to cheat to win and all that type of stuff. But I promise you, you are a rapper. You are a musician. You make music. You have people who rock with you. You have the power and agency. Unless you didn't, most of you are independent. You didn't sign your life away. You didn't sign your rights away, right? I should say. You can make decisions this coming up year to put out more music, to be more consistent, to try something different, to market differently. It's all up to you, okay? So, Spotify's smart. This is definitely a big marketing campaign for them, but I do find it beneficial to artists. It's nice for us to hype each other up. Every single one I've seen today, I put fire emojis under. I like it. I say, yo, let's go, because we're all in this together. Shout out to High School Musical. But we're all doing this thing, right? We're all we're all in this together, right? So I need people to cheer up. I do, and I'm pretty positive I'm titling this video "The Evils of Spotify Wrapped." I do not think it is evil. I don't even really think Spotify is evil. I think that they are sneaky in some ways, but that's how business is, especially in this country. But I think it can be seen as evil to some people because it kind of can feel like just everybody bragging, right? Everybody bragging, everybody laughing at you because your numbers aren't as high. When in reality, all of us should be laughing together, as lame as that sounds, because we all make music. we're all artists. I'm a rapper. Like, do you know how crazy that is to me? It's been 5 years and I still haven't wrapped my head around the fact that, like, yo, I make music and get paid from it. And there are people, I think this year it said I have like 20 something, 23, 25 people who I'm their number one artist. That means there's 25 people out there that are like, yo, Mitch Darrell is my favorite artist. Out of all the artists, out of the millions of artists, Mitch Darrell is my favorite artist, right? So, it's just one of those things. You really have to put it in perspective, okay? If it would be good for you to stay off socials, to not really look at anybody else's numbers, to kind of just look at your own, kind of process yourself. I understand that, because it's very hard to keep jealousy from creeping in. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll be completely transparent. I saw some numbers today, and I'm happy for everyone. I promise I am. But sometimes you'll see numbers of somebody, and they'll say, oh, man, like, I wish I had that number. Like, here's an example. I want to get to 1 million. That's something I want to get to. Last year, I was at 250,000-ish. So getting to 500,000 this year was super great. That was my goal. Then seeing people who were around my number last year that are higher than me now, of course that makes me think like, oh man, that's higher than me. Like, even just your math mind is going to look at that and be like, that's a higher number than my number. That number's higher than mine. Mine's lower than theirs. Theirs higher than mine, you know? But you can't let that overtake you. Really look at it from the fact that this is your career, your music. This is your fan base. You are doing this. God can help you. You have the agency to do what you want in order to make things better. If you really want higher numbers, I promise you, you are able to do that for yourself. There's plenty that you can do that will fix that, okay? Ultimately, I don't want people to think of them as numbers. That's when you go out and buy numbers, like bots and fake streams and all that type of stuff. It's not about the numbers. It's about the people. And that's why I might do a whole nother video about how I wish Spotify would actually give us the contact information of our followers so I could actually have a community of my followers. But again, another video for another day. Shout out Spotify. I appreciate you. But yeah, so again, happy rap day. Please, rappers and artists in CHH, please be proud of yourselves. Do not let anybody let you feel bad for celebrating your streams, because like I said, it's not just numbers, it's people, and it's your career, and you've worked hard. We've all worked hard, right? It's cool to celebrate once a year because we work hard. We spend a lot of money. We put a lot of work in. We write a lot. We're creative. We work regular jobs usually. We go to church. We got a lot of things to deal with, but at the end of the day, we're still trying to do our best at music. You deserve it, man. You deserve you deserve the claps. Okay, so nobody be sad. Everybody cheer up. Keep working on yourself. Again, do not compare. Do not let the devil sneak in with, whispers and making you feel jealous of your brother. Like, we're on the same team. We're on the same team. Especially all of us in Christian hip hop. We're definitely on the same team. So I appreciate you guys watching. Have a great week. Have a great Wednesday, great week. Praise God.